Alright, there's a lot to unpack about the new update that came with automation, and one of the things we're looking at is the undertray before and after sort of thing. There is so many more options now, and we've also seemingly lost the downforce slider when it comes to this stuff as well. So to test this, I went ahead and made myself, absolutely not a Honda NSX. Nope, not even. So we're going to be testing them all in order. First, we have default, which gives us, basically nothing. Then we got the off-road skid tray, which really shouldn't be adding much at all. Semi-clad, which was kind of the king before. It was the balance between lightweight and reducing drag. Okay, so here's an annoying thing, is this is actually set to mirror. But for some reason, none of these are actually mirroring when exporting. Maybe I'll have to bring that up as a bug report. Anyway, yeah, then we have fully clad, which was like good for top speed, but not great for handling because you would have problems with it being too heavy then. Then we have a new one, flow optimized, which should really help us with our top speed, but really wouldn't help a huge amount with downforce until we get to another new one, Sports Undertray. Now this one is throwing everything to the wind, trying to get like a very good sporty sort of downforce. But this one, I'm assuming is same as the previous one called Downforce. So it's just basically everything is all in the purpose of just creating that perfect amount of downforce. Now you may look on here, this is going to have balked results because you got a wing on here. No. These are made out of 3D fixtures. I've just put them on there. This is also 3D fixtures. This is not a real wing or anything like that. No downforce. This is also just a 3D fixture. These are 3D fixtures. There is no downforce on here apart from what we've got. The only thing I've really done was I tuned the brakes for default, and that is it. Everything else is exactly standard. Now, if you're wondering what this car is meant to be, it's meant to be kind of like a homologation special of a Le Mans NSX car. Kind of. A little bit. So I went ahead and made myself a handy dandy little bit of a graph here, and we're going to start filling in all of these things. First, we're going to put in the weight for front and rear, and then we're going to put in what the weight is at 200 kilometers an hour, and then difference, I forgot to write that in, then top speed and cornering G-forces. And the cornering G-forces one is going to be a little bit tricky, but we'll try to fix something out. So after adding together all of the fronts and all of the rears, I've come to the conclusion that it doesn't really seem to change very much. The only one that really showed kind of a consistent difference was off-road skid tray. The rest are all basically exactly the same. One more here, one more there, but they don't really seem to be any difference. So when it says that it adds extra weight, you can go ahead and ignore that. Now let's take it up to 200, and we're using cruise control this time, so no mistakes are made. I didn't want to use it previously because I just think the UI looks ugly, but let's just do 200. This is also kilometers an hour, not miles per hour. Now to let the speed settle just a little bit. And pause. All right, let's take down these numbers. That is 410 on the front, which is a slight increase, and 665 on the rear, which is a noticeable difference. Though I will say one little thing. Even though the graphs in the aero says that this thing will gain lift considerably, I mean, I was expecting that, I actually have smaller front tires on than rear, so maybe we're actually creating a little bit of downforce with the rake. You know what? I will try that out on the default one at the end of the video if you hang around for that. Now, to try off-road. And we're seeing 413. So a little bit more again, but still within margin of error. If you're wondering what I'm considering margin of error here, it's the same as always. It's 5%. So 5% of approximately 400 would be 20 kilos. If the difference is not more than 20 kilos, it's not really going to be noticeable or really reliable. The rear, on the other hand, is only up a little bit. As you can see here, there's 3 kilos less, but still more downforce than if we were standing still. Let's get semi-clad going. Now, this is the biggest so far on downforce. We're creating 416, but still not a huge amount. And the rear, we're creating, well, not great again. It's exactly the same, 665. That is exactly the same as default. But once again, this is still not meant to be downforce, and really, honestly, neither is skid tray. This is meant to be just for flow optimization. This one's meant for off-road. Let's go with fully clad now. Now, let me just show you the inconsistencies we're getting here and why I gave such a large percentage of 5%. Here we're getting 410, pause and unpause, 406, 408, 409, and then 412, which we're just gonna stop. We're gonna go with 412 right here. And then on the rear, 657. That was some hard math to do. Yeah, as you can see here, fully clad is not really helping us at all in the downforce section. Flow optimized. And with flow optimized, we're getting very, very similar numbers. 412 by 659. Now, I'm expecting stuff actually from Sports Undertray and Race Diffuser, so let's take it back and give it a try. And unfortunately, we're still only seeing 412 on the front, so that sucks. Then on the rear, 662, which is still within margin of error by considerable amounts. First, Race Diffuser is our last hope, considering it is the one that maxes out the downforce amount. I will point out one thing. Generally, this is flicking around 16% here on throttle. This time it's doing 17, so I feel that Race Diffuser is at least creating more drag. But let's have a look at the numbers. They are not good numbers. 414 by 660. Well, that's a load of poop. Difference. Negligible, 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 negligible. So they're all creating like just a little bit more, between 4 to 7 extra kilos on the front sort of range to about 10 to 15 kilos on the rear approximately. So not really going to be changing much at all. At least it's not generating lift. I mean, it should be generating lift, but it isn't. So that's a good thing, I suppose. Now, to do top speed. Now, whilst we get this one up to speed, I want to show you the gearing that we got here. You'll notice that the gearing isn't really optimized for maximizing top speed. Now, I know in BeamNG you can go faster than what the gearing says, so that's kind of what we're hoping upon here. We're just going to keep driving this thing, and then we're going to test their top speeds against each other. Or compare, I mean. This is going to take quite some time. It seems I've hit the top speed here of about 419 kilometers an hour, which is this much in miles per hour. But this actually took quite some time to do as well, so I have a bit of an idea for the next lot. 419. Now for the rest of these, we're gonna bring back the cruise control app. I'm gonna turn the engine on, and we're gonna set this to an unattainably high amount, then we'll just switch over to another car. 564 sounds good to me. Same again, we'll set them off, and we'll just keep switching back and forth between them, so then hopefully we can get this right. And now we just sit back and wait. I might go get a drink or something. This could take some time. Oh hey, would you look at that? 425 kilometers an hour for off-road skid tray. That is about 6 kilometers an hour faster. 425. Pretty good. Next one. Semi-clad. Oh, look at that. We might still be climbing on this one. 430. Okay. Oh. Okay, we're still going here apparently. Alright, well, this is frustrating. I keep coming back to this, and I see it, like, occasionally just flip over. It just flipped to 441, so it's still going! I get the feeling that some of these are going to redline. You know what? Nah, we're gonna call it here. 441 is the limit here. 441. Fully clad now. Oh dear. Yeah, this one's 10 kilometers an hour faster. This 288 GTO engine is really working hard right now. This riser's not overheating at all. And I don't see the number rising, so I think that's actually good. 451. 451. Yay. Flow optimized. It seems we're going a little bit faster, and I get the feeling that's also fairly consistent. So 456. I think it is. Then we've got Sports Undertray. Seemingly it's struggling to reach 456. It really wants to be at 445. So I think that's the number we're gonna put down. I really should have gone with a flat power curve, so then I would have been able to get like consistent results from this. Because I don't know if it's because the Undertray is not better, or if our power is dropping off at this point. Okay, so we're down on torque, but our power is still up, so maybe that's not happening right now. Let's go over to Race Diffuser and see what it says over here. Oh, this one is considerably slower. Okay, interesting. No real downforce to be had, but you are losing speed. 425. So by the graph here, really the best one to go with is flow optimized. Interesting. So Mr. Flow Optimized, you are the best here. Like, if no downforce, then that's that. I actually doubt there's any point in doing cornering Gs at this point, because the results are straightforward. It's just straight up, flow optimized is the best, because it's the only one that's actually got a decent enough result showing here. Editor fill here. So I tried to do some G-force testing sort of stuff. It all was just like all muddled. It was really hard to get any clear results, and everything basically was all the same. So yeah, there's nothing here. Flow optimized is really the only one bothering with if you're going for purely just what BeamNG wants, not what you're trying to get out of like realism and all that sort of stuff. Keep it in mind. But for now, we're gonna take the prettiest girl at the ball out for a hot lap around our track. What am I looking? Is that the main menu? I think the main menu has got stuck on and blurred out my screen. What? So before we get started, I'd like to say, if you like these sort of things, and there will be more in the future, especially when they give any sort of updates to fix these things, I'll go over and try it again. Can you please go ahead and hit that like button? And if you're not subscribed, it would be nice if you did subscribe. But right now, we're going to have a bit of a look over this car, because I've not really explained anything about this. People that are on my Discord may notice that I only just found out recently that the Honda NSX has a transversely mounted engine in the back here, which they probably just took the V6 from a different vehicle and stuck it in the back. But I went with longitudinal, and I also went with the V8. And the reason why I did that is because, I don't know, I just kind of felt that a Honda NSX and a V6 don't really, like, it looks like a supercar. But a V6 doesn't feel very 90s supercar-ish. So I took basically a complete replica of the Ferrari 288 GTO V8 and stuck that in here. So yeah, it's fun. It's a lot of fun, except just a little bit more modernized, but still gets hurt considerably by me just not being good at making engines. I did a few other little things that I'm really happy about. I put in this little bit of a window in here, so that's pretty nice. Oh, I forgot to change this. This is meant to be the body color. So the default, you'll notice that mostly matches, and then a little bit of a dash in there. Very basic interior, because this is meant to be a homologation race special. There is actually a window here, but it's only viewable, apparently, from one side. We got a little bit of trimming going on in here. We got a bit of a problem with our exhaust. For some reason, because the mufflers were poking down here, I painted it invisible. Even though the tips weren't invisible, they showed up invisible. So I've just got in some piping from 3D fixtures and I've stuck it in here. A little bit of a cheat, but whatever, it works. As for the rear diffuser, this is just a patchwork sort of thing that I've got going on there, and then it goes on and matches up with a bit of patchwork I've got going the length of the body from the front. On the front here, we've got ourselves just some 3D fixtures, no real downforce here. This is just a grill hole area with, once again, another one of those patchwork slanted angle things. And then on the hood, we went with a little bit of a thing like that. And then we put on the hardest one here, and that is pop-up headlights. Now, you'll know if you've ever tried to use this body, the pop-ups don't really match the body lines. So what I did is I put in a fixture here, very similar to this one, at the front there, and then I just trimmed it up and made everything mostly work here. So I have done a similar thing like this, but here we've got just, yeah, it's a fairly clean one. I've noticed here I didn't change the color on that, so that's a big fail on my behalf. Like, oh, that's blah, 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 blah. Then here, this is just a regular old normal sort of fixture that I stuck in once again. Patchwork, and if you haven't quite figured out, patchwork is pretty much my favorite thing of all in automation to use when working on things. If you're not using a bazillion patchworks, then you're not doing it right. On the side here, I went ahead and used a scoop. I kind of angled it, made it all fit. Now, I would have had that sit flush with the body in the normal straight lines, except for the fact that it didn't fit into the shape presented by the body, so we got it pretty darn close. And this is just a big old scoop that you can get from the scoop section. Yeah, can kind of figure out what it is that I've done here. Then for the wing, this is simply just a 3D fixture, like it's a weird slanty angle sort of thing. A quarter round circle just shaped to fit in, and then the same thing just flipped around here, used as a way to prop it up. Doesn't look 100%, but you know, it does the act if you're not looking particularly close. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Most thing that I'm happy about is these little windows. I think these little windows here, like from a race car, especially the Honda NSX race car, look absolutely fantastic. I love it. But now, with flow optimized and optimized braking, so I took the braking all the way up to the limit and then brought it back until the vehicle stopped shaking. So hopefully, we will have all of the braking that we need. And we're gonna bring it immediately down into the Everton S's. And let's see how this car goes with no downforce. Oh, understeer, lots and lots of understeer. Oh dear, I didn't really tune the handling at all. It was all just default. So, results may vary. This thing suffers from a lot of understeer. That is an unfortunate amount of understeer. God, this... If I went with thicker front tires, this would probably do considerably better. I probably should have at least tested default vehicle, because this is unfortunate. It also got a lot of shaking there under braking, so braking in a straight line apparently is not a good measurement of a vehicle shaking under like real world circumstances when the vehicle is a little bit unsettled. So maybe really rein in the braking once you've gone to maximum. Oh, and we're stuck in fourth for some reason. And then are we gonna understeer here? Yes, we are, damn it! And now going into the slingshot again, 290, we're gonna slow it down so then we don't understeer too much. 240, oh, that's not bad at all. Okay, yep, no, that's frick. All right, third time's a charm. Slow it down. Oh, no! God damn it, it doesn't turn in like I wanted to. All right, slow down, turn it in. 230 seems to be the number. And let's bring it down now to Bavarian Bend. Oh, brakes are not happy. Come on, why? There we go. Got through Bavarian Bend much better. And now we're gonna see how much this thing struggles at Cossacks. Really, you do, not Cossacks, sorry. Here at Kilrob Chicane. Now, Kilrob Chicane, if you're not practiced well in the car, will normally catch you out, but there we just went with a good, educated guess, and it did pretty well. Now, how are we gonna go with Popsicle or washing out wide? Really punishing us quite hard. What about Adam's Apex? 65 is what we had around here last episode, and a similar sort of number, except for the fact that we have to hold that slower speed for considerably longer before we can exit. So that's a real bummer on this car. I was thinking that this thing would be quite fast, but Kilrob, sorry, now that we're at Cossacks. God damn, I got the two mixed up. And Lamb's Hope, turn it in, lots of understeer, but that's fine. Oh my god, we are actually considerably faster than the last car. Oh my god, that's 25 seconds faster or more. Jesus, okay guys. Well, I hope you did enjoy today's video. I most certainly did. This has been a lot of fun, and I did enjoy making this car. I really wish I kind of had to put a badge on the front now, but still, this is so much fun. But for now, I'll catch you guys next time, and I'm gonna let you in. Probably the next one we're going to do is going to be engine position and see how that affects the car in an overall sort of handling one. And we are actually going to be doing time lapse on that one, so it's going to be a lot of voiceover as I go full sweat mode to make this make the times be as good as I want to be. And we're going to pick a body, and I'm not sure which body, that can have front engine, mid engine, and rear engine. We're going to try it out. No using sliders, because so far we do know that sliders don't export. But for now, I'll catch you next time. Goodbye.